Like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, Cat Epple charms and then mesmerizes with her spellbinding flutes. Her magical music a captivating mix that soothes the soul and heals the heart. Epple herself fell under the magical spell of the flute as a young child and was able to play the instrument the very first time she picked one up.
I just always wanted to play the flute. As a little child, I would hear the sound and say, I want to play that instrument. I've just always been attracted to it. Plus, I love the mythology about flutes, from Pan to the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Just wonderful stories about flutes and flute players, bringers of magic.
Epple never planned on becoming a professional musician, but after playing in coffee houses to help pay for college, she found her love of music had inevitably become her livelihood.
I guess I just kind of fell into it and then realized, oh, I guess that's what I am. I never intended to, but once I started really getting so immersed in music, it was too heartbreaking to do anything else.
Over the years, this self-taught virtuoso has earned worldwide acclaim as both a composer and performer, working as a solo artist and as a member of the groups Emerald Web and White Crow. With Emerald Web, she released 12 music albums, including Cat's Paw, which was nominated for a Grammy Award in 1986. The multi-talented Epple has also won 8 Emmy Awards for her soundtrack production work, including compositions produced and recorded for National Geographic, Nova, and Carl Sagan. Her mood-setting music has also been featured on several soap operas, including The Guiding Light, Another World, and As the World Turns.
When I first started doing those, I thought I would be like the one that did all the ethereal, love themes, and they didn't accept any of those for use on air, but every time I did a piece that was the maniac lurking in the bushes, they would use every one of those I would make, so that became my specialty for the soaps.
Epple's own work is more serene, incorporating elements of New Age, jazz, Celtic, classical, African, Asian, and world music. Her travels throughout the world have also influenced her music and inspired a passion for collecting flutes from other cultures.
I've collected about 200 or more flutes. Having that many different flutes that I enjoy playing often dictates the music. I mean, it helps put together the whole composition, because the flute kind of speaks to me what melodies it wants to play. Then I just kind of color in around that.
Epple compares finding a new flute to finding a new friend, and she quickly learns the voice of each instrument.
This is one that I use as the voice of the calusa. It's actually Costa Rican, but it's made of reed as opposed to bamboo, and it just has a kind of a sound that sounds like it could be from the distant past.
From clay to crystal, Epple's flutes offer a wide range of sounds and insight into the cultures that created these acoustic works of art. Despite a world of differences, each is still classified as a flute.
All it takes is a hollow tube with the holes to blow in and the holes to cover with your fingers.
So there's nothing in there?
There's a little magic in there.
The composer finds magic and inspiration in each of her flutes and in her dreams.
My dreams are so loud. There's always a soundtrack with my dreams. Everything from that maniac lurking in the bushes music to beautiful natural flute sounds. Nature mixing in with the flutes. It can be very inspiring and also very disappointing because it's so beautiful in my dreams. I wake up, try to recreate it, and it's just never the same.
Most of Epple's compositions are recorded in her state-of-the-art digital recording studio, located in her Fort Myers home. Using a software system called MIDI, or Musical Instrument Digital Interface, Epple composes her music primarily on keyboards, which can create the sound of almost any instrument.
Everything's recorded on the computer. You can score the music for sheet music here. And this shows all the waveforms of everything that's been recorded.
If she's composing a soundtrack for television or film, Epple begins by creating a base layer of mood music that complements the script. She then layers the sounds of different instruments into her work.
Most of the musical part is done on MIDI keyboards, and then I sometimes ethnic percussion, and then add the flute.
While scripts guide Epple's inspiration for soundtrack compositions, her own music is mostly freeform and composed spontaneously, without a predetermined plan. Her newest CD, As Your Pieces of Life, was spontaneously composed with longtime friend and keyboardist Chuck Grinnell.
It takes a lot of listening to each other and really knowing each other. You also have to be a pretty good musician, be able to go through unpredictable chord changes and not make it wrong.
Another longtime friend, artist Robert Rauschenberg, supplied the cover artwork for the CD. An impromptu jam session with wine bottles and chopsticks during a sushi party was the unlikely start of their enduring friendship.
Rauschenberg and I just became great friends. He talks to me a lot about art, and I talk to him a lot about how art looks like music to me. It all seems the same. To create art seems the same as to compose music. And he's a huge inspiration to me.
The business of being a professional musician keeps Epple busy, but despite her very full schedule, she often lends her support to charitable organizations. She recently gave a concert with fellow composer Chuck Grinnell and other musicians to benefit the Florida Repertory Theater in Fort Myers. Epple willingly shares her gift and hopes listeners hear the magic within the lilting voices of her flutes.
Hopefully the music can help someone to relax, be a little more peaceful, and also through that to maybe help just peace in general, because the music bridges the language barriers and cultural differences, and it can maybe create a little more peace in the world. At least a little couldn't hurt.
As this modern Pied Piper knows, all it takes is a little bit of magic. For Arts Edition Primetime, I'm Lynn Howard Fraser.
Kat Epple is a very creative artist who uses her talents to help many causes and organizations, while her music helps soothe the soul. I hope you've enjoyed our program tonight. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Arts Edition Primetime, I'm Joel Banham.